This week is really a big week on my main channel. I've reached the point of where I've been doing YouTube seriously for a year with my main channel, so that's why this channel here has been a little bit neglected this week. But I still want to get up at least 2 videos, and this will be the first one, obviously. But and poetry, hopefully, will make a return next week, unless I get inspired over the weekend. Then I may put something up. And I do want to somewhat have a schedule on this channel, like I've been saying in the past. I want to have a real talk video, a poetry video, and a relationship video. That's what I want to do somewhat consistently. So real talk towards the beginning of the week, poetry midweek, then relationship talk at the end of the week. So yeah, I do want to kind of try to get back on schedule, but at the same time, I'm going to be kind of easy on myself on this channel, because this channel is so much about me just thinking out loud. That's why it's called that, so that's something you can't always exactly plan. But yeah, I mean, I'll try my best with the schedule, But anyway, let me go ahead and get into the focus of this video, which is, having female friends. And this is not, I'll say this, I don't want to talk too much in general, like, can men and women be friends? In fact, let me just go ahead and address that to get that out of the way. I'll just say yes. I mean, obviously, men and women can be just friends, and I mean, and they can respect each other, and it doesn't have to get awkward. There doesn't have to be tension, and you know what type of tension I'm talking about. It really doesn't have to be that. Yes, absolutely, men and women can be just friends. And there may be situations as well where there is some tension there, and maybe you're kind of feeling each other out if there could be more. But I think what happens sometimes is that, especially if you end up dating other people, like you kind of get past that point, and then it just becomes more natural that, you don't even worry about that anymore. So, and it is a very natural thing, that attraction, especially if you enjoy spending time around a person and you laugh with them, you have a lot of the same likes and, even share dislikes, I mean, the attraction can happen, but, it doesn't have to overtake the friendship. And a lot of times, it's a very dicey thing to really go beyond friendship, because yeah, if things don't work out relationship wise, then that's going to be kind of that dark cloud hanging over the friendship, for the rest of the time that it lasts, if it lasts. So yeah, I mean, that's the simple gist of it. Yes, absolutely, men and women can be just friends, especially in the time we're living in now, because so many people have friends that are strictly like online friends, or you may talk to them on the phone, but you never see them face to face. I have a lot of female friends that I have never met in person, and honestly probably never will meet in person, and that's fine. And it's just modern age, I guess, there. But getting more into me personally and why I mainly have female friends, I would say it really started. Well, I mean, when I was younger, I had female friends, obviously, but it mainly started that I had more female friends than male friends once I was out of the military, and especially once I started writing. Once I started taking writing seriously, and I would write poetry almost daily. I mean, there really was a long stretch in my life where I wrote poetry almost daily. And once I started sharing my writing online, and then I self-published books for a while, actual hard copies of books. And I mean, the main people that would check out my writing, they were women. So that's who I was getting feedback from. That's who I interacted with. And a lot of the friendships really developed from there, just from, women checking out my writing. And I just don't know a lot of guys that actually read on a regular basis. It's like pulling teeth to get some of them to even check out just a little bit of my work, So that's really where a lot of those friendships came from. And also, a big reason why I had mainly female friends is because male posturing is just, it annoys me. I find it so boring. It is absolutely boring. I don't like to talk about conquest on a regular basis. And again, I keep things PG here, so you know what type of conquest I'm referring to. That to me, it gets old so fast, and it's just, and a lot of times, people are exaggerating or straight up lying, and it's just boring to me. And guys can be very competitive. Now, I think women are actually more competitive than men. I may do a separate video all about that one day, because, and I'll just say this briefly here, I think women are competitive in life, like just, life in general, like where things really matter, like women get really competitive with each other. And there's some petty things that women may be competitive about too. But men, though, men are very competitive about video games and sports and all these different things, and I don't care. I really don't care. When I play video games, it's for fun. Like, I don't always have to be doing well to enjoy myself. Now, if I'm playing online and the server's not acting right and it's glitching and stuff like that, oh yeah, I absolutely will get frustrated. I get upset about that. But if I'm just not playing well, I'm just not playing well. So I don't get so competitive. And some guys, they get so riled up and they act like money's on the line in every game or their life is on the line or something. And I just don't care about that. And also, let me talk about sports because sports is big for guys, of course, and for women too as well. You know what I mean? It's big in general, but especially with team sports, I don't have an NBA team that I follow. I mean, I watch a game here and there. Don't have an NFL team that I follow. I was into watching the Carolina Panthers for a little bit, but still, like, I could not call out players' names and this and that or whatever, other than the names you constantly hear on TV and in the news. So I don't really have a football team. Hockey, whatever. I'll watch like fight highlights, but that's about it. Soccer, whatever. I know the rest of the world loves it. Boring as can be to me, so I'm just being real. So there really aren't too many sports that I'm into, and I know that's the way that a lot of guys connect with each other. As a matter of fact, I met a coworker's husband at a work event, like a dinner or whatever, and immediately he asked me, who my football team was, and it's like, boom, starting off on the wrong foot right away, because, and that's nothing against him, but that's how a lot of guys try to connect to other guys. They ask, what are your favorite teams? And for me, the answer is always, I'm not into it, and this is crazy as well, that I can actually watch baseball more and be more entertained by that than actual football and basketball. And yeah, I know that sounds crazy to some people because some people find baseball incredibly boring, but for me, it's really not so much about the sport itself. It's about the way that it's filmed, because I'm a film geek. I'm not as much of a film geek as I used to be, but I still am in a way. And I just like the drama behind baseball, the way that it's filmed. You get the close-ups of the players, you see what's going on in the dugout, the managers talking, all these different things that it might be boring to some people, and I can understand that. But to me, it's interesting the way that they really put the whole broadcast together. So, I mean, that's the main reason that I like it, In fact, let me tell you a quick story here, because I remember when I was in basic training in the military, I was actually at Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and I think, I don't know if it was once a month or, well, no, what can it be once a month, because basic training was only 8 weeks at that time. So I can't remember how often it was, but every once in a while, we would have to go sit downstairs at nighttime on guard duty, and it wasn't real guard duty. It was just, I guess, the experience of being on guard, but it was like this little office area where I'm sitting where I can look outside into the breezeway. I can see outside, and see who's approaching and everything. And then off to the side, there's an office over here. And there was a TV on. And we weren't supposed to watch TV. Like, being in basic training is like media blackout. You don't watch the news. You don't look at newspapers, magazines, none of that. You don't watch TV. So it's like completely just media blackout. So, yeah, I'm sitting there on duty, and there's a TV playing over here, and the drill sergeant's not around. So, of course, I'm kind of, looking to see what's going on, kind of peeking. And I saw a baseball game on, but I really wasn't paying it much attention. And at one point, the drill sergeant even came by, and he was like, "You better not be watching that TV." And I'm just like, whatever, But and then he left. So I did see the end of the game, and then I realized they were celebrating at the end a lot more than they usually celebrate. And I'm like, what's going on? And then I realized it was actually the last game of the World Series. And I felt bad because I was like, I know there was plenty of guys in my platoon that would have loved to have been down there to actually see that. So I felt like that was such a waste, So I'm not saying I'm not knocking anybody for really being into athletics in that way and being into sports and having your favorite team. All of that, that's cool. It's people are passionate about it. That's really cool, especially people that are loyal to their teams, not these switch-siders, and all that. But, so yeah, just never been big on team sports. I know part of that is that my father, he was into sports, but he never really like tried to bring me into that world too much. Just not a super close relationship there. But yeah, so I just didn't have that interest. But this is what's crazy as well. I am into combat sports, like especially MMA, the UFC. I like watching the UFC, and I don't know other guys that are into it. I'm like, really? Like this is a sport I can get on board with, and other guys aren't into it. So that's crazy. I used to really be into boxing as well, but boxing has become so corrupted. There's just so many divisions and so many belts and just so many judgments. I mean, when it's in the judge's hands, so much funny stuff happens. I can't enjoy it. And my big issue with sports overall, and I'm sorry to talk so much about sports, but I just got to address this real quick, is what takes the fun out of professional sports for me is so often the top tier athletes that you constantly hear about and that are performing at the highest level. It seems like there's a large percentage of them that get busted for using steroids and other performance enhancers. And it's just, I mean, they're cheaters basically. So it's like, I'm not going to cheer on a cheater. And there's so many of them in professional sports. It just ruins it for me a lot of time. So, yeah, I mean, that's taken me out of a lot of sports, and it's really popping up too much in the UFC as well. And that's becoming kind of annoying. But yeah, getting back to the main focus here though. So because I just don't have too many ways to connect with other guys, that's why I don't have a lot of male friends. Because like I said, I don't like all that locker room talk. I don't like all that competitiveness. And even with gaming, this is crazy as well. I'm with PlayStation. I mean, I don't have anything against the other systems, but I'm pretty loyal to PlayStation just because I like their exclusives. I like the Uncharted series, Last of Us. I mean, just Naughty Dog in general is just an amazing company. And then God of War. I mean, there's some other games I'm really into that are specifically for PlayStation, but the guys that I know, they're on Xbox. So it's like I just cannot get on the same page with guys. So that's why I just don't have a lot of male friends. And then like I said, women being into my writing has really helped me to make a lot of friends because my writing is so important to me. My poetry, it really matters to me. It's not like I'm super protective of it. I mean, I'll put it out there publicly, and I know that people have stolen it before. I've even busted people stealing my work, trying to pass it off as their own. And that's just gonna happen with writing regardless. But because it still has value to me, and the fact that women read it, that's where a lot of those friendships really develop from. And then also, and this, I mean, just to be blunt and real about it, because that's the way I am here. Guys' conversation a lot of times it's not interesting. It really is not. Like I said, there's a lot of posturing, and I like to kind of philosophize and talk about things on a deep level, and I can't always do that with the guys that I know. I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't guys out there capable of that. Obviously there are, but I just don't know guys that really like deep conversations and to really break things down. And I'm talking about not so much politics, but maybe some things that are going on in the world, and then also personal situations, really breaking them down. I mean, a lot of times, when I do try to confide in guys about certain situations, and I just get kind of simplistic responses. I mean, just nothing really there on a deep level. I mean, every once in a while, maybe they'll get on a deep level with me, but most of the time, not really. So, and then I will say as well, to be fair, there are some male friends that I've had that are really cool guys, really cool to talk to and everything or whatever. And have fun conversations. We could joke around, laugh, have a great time. But then distance is an issue. So some of the guys that I know that are really cool, I'm not really like near them, So, and dudes in general just don't really talk on the phone a lot to each other and stuff like that, So that's where there's like a communication breakdown, and like every once in a while we might send each other like silly memes and silly videos and stuff like that, but there's no real like catching up type of conversations, or they're very rare, and so yeah, I mean, overall though, I just enjoy the conversation with women a lot more. I think it's so interesting to get that different perspective and to talk about just some of everything. I mean, including relationships, to really break down relationships. Although to be real, talking relationships with women it can be fun, it can be interesting, it can be very frustrating as well, because women are so intelligent. I'm talking in general, overall, women can be so intelligent about what needs to be done, as far as their relationships, and also what they should watch out for, and all these different things, and even women in bad situations, they know what to do. They could break it down for you. They could talk about it, but then they don't act. So that is one of the most frustrating things about being friends with women, is that I've just known so many that are in terrible relationships, and yet they do nothing about it. They stay. So that's where I get kind of cold, kind of cold shoulders sometimes towards women. It's like, kind of to the point where it's just like I don't really want to hear that so much anymore, because if you're gonna complain but not act, then you really don't have much right to complain, But still, though, it's just so interesting to me to get that different perspective on life, and that's really all there is to it. It's just I really like different perspectives. Same things goes for it's not just about women, but talking about people from other walks of life can be very interesting. When there's not too much of a language barrier there, of course. So that just makes things more interesting for me. I don't get why. And it's not just men. Women are guilty of this too at times. I just don't see what you're getting out of dealing with people that are just like you. And that's what some people do. There are a lot of guys that hang around other guys that are just like them. They like the same teams. They like the same video games, same movies, everything. And when they talk to each other, it almost sounds like somebody talking out loud to themselves, because they're all saying the same things. And again, that's not interesting to me. And there are some women, like I said, that do the same thing. That they deal with women that are pretty much just like them. And I just don't find that fun. I think you gotta deal with people that have very different views, and challenge you at times, because that's how you continuously grow as a person. So I've had female friends that kind of came and went. I have had times where either I developed a crush or they developed a crush, and it kind of made things awkward, and which is unfortunate, but it's a part of life. It happens, But I will say the female friends that I have in my life right now, they really just make my life a lot better. That's all I can really say about it. And I don't want to, call out all the names. I'm not going to put people on the spot, but I'll just and they know who they are. But there are some female friends I have that are just very supportive, very easy to talk to, and they keep good contact. And that's something else, another issue that I guess I've had with male friends. Like I said, there tends to be a communication breakdown, and it's, even some of my best male friends, like I could go weeks without hearing a word from them, so I think friendship, I've said this before on this channel, friendship is an active thing. And if somebody can't take that time on a regular basis to see how you're doing, then you got to kind of start to question the friendship there. That's just being real about it. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that my female friends that are great friends, that they really do check in on me on a regular basis, and I check in on them on a regular basis and everything. It's just cool. It's very I just feel that support there, that caring there. It really does matter a lot to me. So yeah, that's the gist of it, why I mainly have female friends. I hope I wasn't too all over the place. I know I can be that way in these videos, but like I said, that's really the gist of it, and why I prefer to have female friends. And I have to address this as well. I'm glad I remembered this. I definitely don't want to forget about this. Right now I'm single, and I'm fine with that, because I just don't have much time. I'm running 2 YouTube channels. I got my day job, which sometimes requires me to bring work home. I'm taking 2 master's courses. I'm swamped right now. So, if I'm going to be with the woman, I definitely want to give her attention. And right now, there just isn't a whole lot of time for that. So even though sometimes I kind of long to be in a relationship, I just know that the time is such a factor. But any woman that I deal with, she has to understand that I have female friends, and I'm not dropping my female friends for anybody. I don't care who the woman is. I don't care how fine she is, what her job is, how good a conversation is, or humor, all of that. She could be my, ideal woman. But if she can't handle me having female friends, then she's not really my ideal woman, because, and I've talked about this before when I talked about jealousy. If I'm with the woman, then I'm with her, and she's got to understand that. If she gets jealous, I can understand a little bit of jealousy here and there because again, that's natural. It's a natural instinct. But I'm not gonna listen to somebody complaining all the time about me talking to my female friends, and it's not like I really hang around them anyway. Like I said, most of my female friends, they're just online friends, or we may talk on the phone occasionally, So any woman that's constantly acting insecure about that and constantly in my ear about that, yeah, I can't deal with that, and that's the way it's gonna be because I have female friends that are way too good of people to me, and that I've known for years now, especially my best friend. I've known her for over 10 years, and there is no way that I would drop her, just to satisfy some woman that may not even be around for that long. Because I'm telling you, and I'm being real about it. Because if she's complaining about female friends, I'm pretty sure she's gonna complain about some other stuff that will annoy me, because basically, there's that jealousy there, and she wants all this attention. So if I'm putting attention towards YouTube or towards video games or whatever it may be, and but I know I'm still making sure that I have time for her, but it's not enough, then it's not gonna work. So yeah, that's where I stand on that, and that's the way it's gonna be for the rest of my life. If I have to be single because I can't find a woman that can handle me having female friends, oh well, oh well. I'm not dropping my friends for anybody. That's just all there is to it. So I'm gonna leave it on that note. I definitely want to hear from you all. What do you think about having friends of the opposite gender? Has it ever caused issues for you in a relationship? Just whatever you want to say relating to this topic. I definitely want to hear it. Please give me a thoughtful comment because I like that communication. I'll definitely respond back to you. And yeah, like I said, I'm a little off schedule on this channel, even though I don't have like the strongest schedule, but just be on the lookout. I'm going to try to do another video very soon, and yeah, don't be surprised if I'm rocking the same LBC shirt because I might actually end up recording back to back. But yeah, be on the lookout for that, and I'll talk to you all again real soon.